You are watching Fugitive Red Eye, and it's time again for another Tales from the Drive-Thru. Tales from the Drive-Thru being the series where I talk about my exploits while working in the fast food industry, whether it be in the drive-thru actually or in the store itself. Now, if you remember the previous two episodes, I've talked about my manager, Rimmer. And if you remember from the last episode, I mentioned that he quit after threatening to kill everyone. Well, not quit, actually. I'm sorry. He got transferred. So with him being transferred, they need a replacement. So they get one from another McDonald's, which I think they honestly just took him because the other McDonald's didn't want him anymore because the way he acted. Let's call him Diego. Probably the most interesting manager I've had. Diego was very entertaining, to say the least. He was Rimmer's replacement, and by far an upgrade, but still. Diego was the worst at customer service, the absolute worst, and that's what made me like him so much. He was a really bizarre guy. He was a Hispanic gentleman, probably in his late 50s, and I honestly think he did cocaine at work. Because about every hour on the hour, he'd be like, oh, I gotta go move my car. And then go out to his car and he'd come back sniffing a bunch, like... And, he always seemed kind of out of it. He was really funny, though. I really liked working with him. He was super nice. And he enforced certain policies on, other employees. Like, he never enforced shit to me, other than he, well, yeah, he never fucking enforced shit to me, but, to the other employees, he was always super harsh, especially to new people. But my favorite things were, you know, anytime anything happened, he'd just insincerely be like, oh, so sorry, oh, so sorry. Like one time, this guy came through the drive-thru, and, so he pulls up, right, and he's like, I'm like, go ahead and order whenever you're ready. And I hear this guy go, blah, blah. Like, I literally hear a noise like that, right? And I don't know what to do, I'm scared, so I just sit there for a second. And then, this guy, about literally 1 minute later, says, hello, is anyone there? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. He's like, well, I've been out here for 5 minutes. And I look at the timer, I'm like, actually, sir, I have a timer that tells me how long you've been out there, and you've been there for 1 minute. And he's like, can I talk to your manager? So I give Diego the headset, and he's like, oh, so sorry, sir, oh, so sorry, oh, so sorry, sir, oh, so sorry. And he goes on to cash out the order, just repeatedly saying, oh, so sorry, sir, oh, so sorry, oh, so sorry. Just over and over again, so insincerely. I remember another time there was this guy that came in order to shake, and his shake was really runny. So Diego goes up, and he's like, oh, no, that's how it's supposed to be, which it turned out it wasn't. Our machine was calibrated wrong. But the guy's like, well, then I want a refund. He's like, oh, I can do nothing. That was another thing. He'd always be like, I can do nothing to customers. And he always treated customers like shit. Like, there was one time when a customer called in and talked to another manager to get their order replaced because it got fucked up. And the other manager had told them that they could come and get a replacement meal. So they show up on Diego's shift, and he's like, oh, I can do nothing. You know, he didn't fucking give it to him, which he technically was supposed to, and I believe he got in trouble for it, because he got many, many complaints. But he was an entertaining motherfucker. Like, he did some really bizarre shit. And I remember one time, he showed me this thing on his phone of these two people fucking in a back alley for some reason. And I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, it's funny, right? I was like, what the fuck, man? So, anyway... As time goes on, you know, I get used to him, his really bizarre attributes, and then this happens, the most interesting thing he's ever done. So, this lady comes through the drive-thru talking to the morning manager, who's this really sweet old lady, you know, you'd think of her like your grandma or your mom or an aunt, like a really sweet lady. So, this guy comes through the drive-thru, or this lady comes through the drive-thru, actually, and, they order their food, and then the morning manager, we'll call her Cindy, says, will there be anything else? And then this bitch in the car is like, oh, your mom's dick. And then fucking Diego gets on the headset. He's like, what did you say? And he goes up to the back window to cash it out instead of me. And he's like, what did you say to my boss? You do that again, I cannot serve you. Okay, I cannot serve you. And He just literally said that, like he'll never serve them again if they act like that. He did not take shit from customers, just like Rimmer, only he was a lot more entertaining. And he tried to say that the reason he went out to his car so much was to smoke and eat cig, but he was clearly doing, as I was saying, he was clearly doing cocaine. Another thing he would do is anytime anyone would make a drink, like, you know, get a drink from the drive-thru and just kind of try and hide it up there near the drive-thru window, he would, like, put a bunch of salt and pepper in it to fuck with them. Particularly, there was this one girl that he liked to pick on. She was like 16 or something like that, and he just liked to fuck with her a lot. Probably wanted her, if you know what I mean. He was a weird old man, so I wouldn't doubt it. But anyway, he was an interesting guy, and frankly, I'll never forget him. I actually went to the old McDonald's I worked at a few days ago, you know, on the way home from another place, and he was still there, so as far as we know, Diego ain't going anywhere. And he's still doing cocaine, I'm sure. Now, he claimed, you know, I have kids, I can't do cocaine, it's bad. You know, shit like that. But, he was a good guy, fun to work with, unless, of course, he didn't like you. In which case, he was a pain in the ass to work with. Luckily, everyone there liked me, even though I had a blatant disregard for company policy, but, that's another story for a different day. Other than that, this has been Fugitive Red Eye, and this has been another exciting episode of Tales from the Drive-Thru. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I hope I enjoyed, which I did. But, that being said... Oh, I said that being said. Damn it! Oh well. That... Again, other than that... if you want me to make a specific type of video, you have any requests, anything like that, let me know. Any requests for future videos. Obviously, there will be much more Tales from the Drive-Thru to come, so don't forget to tune in next time for Tales from the Drive-Thru. This has been a Fugitive Red Eye production of a Fugitive Red Eye show, directed by Fugitive Red Eye, starring Doom Guy. But anyway... I'll see you on the next Tales from the Drive-Thru. I think I've rambled on enough here. So, yeah, you have a spadoinkle day.